Senator Manchin.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Thank you, Mr. Secretary, for being here. And first of all, I was not here, but I know your statement when you first made your statement, basically of addressing homelessness, which I appreciate very much, and also saying if you had any unspent funds, you were going to direct that unspent fund towards homelessness.
Right.
Okay. With that being said, I know my colleague, Senator Capito, and I agree wholeheartedly on what's going on in West Virginia. We're on the same page. Right. The thing a couple things I want to know, as far as on the FEMA distribution of the money, I know there were some concerns that we had that some of our agencies weren't complying the way they were supposed to in the state, and I remember some money was kind of held, if you will, before more was released. Are you all satisfied with the reporting that's being done now, and is there any money being held or money being released because they have not fulfilled the duties you need or the information you need?
I'm not aware of any that's being held for that
reason.
reason.
Just see any of your staff could just check on the FEMA money, the distribution from the 2016 flood, which is horrendous. People are still trying to get in some form of order. There's still people living in trailers and everything else haven't been made whole yet. So you could help us on that. I knew there were some problems, and also there was a time when I believe I recall that you thought that it was overspent or over applied, and there was money requested back from you all that might not have been spent the way it was supposed to. And I know you were working with the agency to try to correct that. You and I spoke at one time a good while about that.
Right.
My other thing is youth homelessness. And your annual homelessness report identified 248 people in West Virginia, families with children, and only 89 unaccompanied youth as homeless. Department of Education, along with the United States Department of Education, has a minimum of 10,500 homeless children. There's a big gap, I guess, by the way you report. And so only thing I'm asking is we have to look at that to make sure that there's a big gap, 10,000 at least. We think there's more than that. Our biggest problem, Mr. Secretary, is this. We don't have the resources in our education department in West Virginia to be able to truly identify and help the kids that are truly homeless. We're not identifying every child. Now, the cooks know, the janitors know who they are. Sometimes the teachers know, but for some reason they're not getting reported. So in our McKinney-Vento, the money that comes through that, we only had a few counties that even applied for the money because they never had the personnel. Can you consider, and would it be possible that we might be in some of the untapped funds, be able to use it to get people to truly be able to identify the homeless children in our schools? Is that possible?
Well, we have a different way of counting homeless children than the Department of Education does. And we do it the way that we do it so that we can target the people who really need it the most.
You're talking people without a shelter at all.
Right, and if we change it to their system, it has a domino effect on a lot of different things.
I'm sure of that. I'm just saying the children, we're getting children right now that are coming to school. They're not worried about did they get their homework done. We have a program called Handle with Care. Handle with Care basically has adopted from some of the hard-working people that have fallen addicted to opiates because of the work they have done. The families dissipate. And here's a child being kicked around. The child might have been, the night before, might have seen their dad or their mom get arrested and taken out of the premise. Then the arresting officer basically identifies, contacts the school, and we call that Handle with Care because that child's not coming to school the next day prepared for that homework, prepared for that test. And these kids that are couch surfing right now, I just couldn't believe what's going on.
Right.
And culture has just fallen away. But they come to school, they're not worried about anything except, can I make it one more day?
That's a significant problem, the domestic violence issue. The children suffer from it, the women suffer from it. In this past cycle, we provided 2,800 more units for domestic violence, and we'll accelerate that this next cycle.
I'm just saying, we can't allow the homelessness of children that are growing at disproportionate rates to be say they don't fit in this category or we're not counting them in that. And I don't know. I'm just saying if you had some extra funds, you're wanting those funds, I understand, to go to people without shelters whatsoever.
Sure.
I understand that completely. If there's anything left over after you do that, would you consider just consider if we can work helping some of these kids so we can identify them and get them off of a neighbor's couch or someone's car they had to sleep in last night.
Sure. I would absolutely
I know you
consider
will.
that if
I
there's
know
money
that.
left
I
over.
know.
Absolutely.
I appreciate it, Mr. Secretary.
Thank
Thank you.
you.